All right, troops, welcome back to the Action Elite. I know it's been a very, very long time since we've last done a live stream, but my eye is now fully healed after a few months. It took a long time to actually sort itself out. I had to get surgery, and it was all very tedious and painful. And in fact, I'll bring the guys in, and then I can bore you with the literally gory details. So first up, we got Charlie. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm back. We're back.
Bitches.
It's awesome. The
Back
boys
in
are back
action.
in town.
Oh, yeah. And we got J-Man.
Hey,
How are
how's
you?
it going, guys?
Good.
Hey,
I've
I
missed
see this
talking to you
guy
guys.
all the time, man. It's fine.
I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, I'll see you in a few days. It'll be all, it's all good.
So tonight we don't have any specific thing to actually discuss. We're literally just going to be shooting the shit because I didn't want to have to watch anything before doing it or whatever. So
Pew, pew, pew.
yeah, it's just let's just talk about some of the movies. But interesting thing over the past few months, I've been watching more horror movies than action
Me
movies.
too. I was gonna say, why if we converted this to horror, I'd be like right in.
I know. So I mean, even my top.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Freddie
It
there.
was just October, so let's be fair.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's
was
fair.
horror season. We just got out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I watched all the Nightmare on Elm Street films, including Freddy vs. Jason, all the Hellraiser films, including the new ones as
Oh my
well.
God.
So that was awesome. I loved all of that. And then it's only just recently, over the past week, that I've got back into watching action movies again. So how have you both been?
Been
Well-
good. J-Man keeps me busy, man. We're finally where I don't have to watch 2 movies a week now.
Right.
So that we're now in eliminations for our tournament. But no, it's been good, man. We still pumping out podcasts. We just did RoboCop, which was badass and a great show for us. So
Yeah.
just same old, man. Dreading the holiday season all the
Yeah.
time.
But
God,
we got a movie to look forward to, though.
dude, I cannot wait.
Oh, Violent Night. I'll
Violent
definitely
Night.
get us. I'll get tickets for all of us. So we'll make
The
Yeah.
tickets are out
I-
today, and
Are
it's
they out
only out
today?
for a week, apparently. It's only a week it's going to get out in the theaters. I think it's going to be IMAX.
They're going to want to get that on streaming though fast because
Yeah.
it's going to be December. I got J-Man to watch the trailer though. That was just last Friday that I'm like, you got to watch this.
I've watched it like 4 times already.
Also,
told you.
I watch it all the time.
It's like a mini movie. I love it.
All right. Well, if the tickets are on sale right now, I'm gonna go on right now and get them for our theater. So
Get
I will
that
do
shit
that
booked,
while
yeah.
we're talking.
All right.
I posted links to Charlie's Facebook group in the chat.
I see. Yeah.
Yep.
I posted the
And
link to
to
my
some-
channel in the chat because I'm a shameless asshole.
Quite right.
And, all right, and the actionleadofcourse.com as well for anybody who is not part of the website. They can go on and check it out.
Okay. And there's Severio. Lost Bullet 2 is pretty okay on Netflix. I haven't seen that. I watched the first one. That was good. I got to catch up on that.
Did
There's
they
a movie,
find the bullet in part 2?
I think so. Yeah. There's another movie. It was like Blade of the 47 Ronin, which isn't on Netflix here for some reason. And I'm like, why not? I've been wanting to watch it, but it's not on in Canada for some reason.
I'll see if
So-
I can find it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you can find it by other means. But
Well,
I
just
got
another,
the
it's a
hook.
whole nother streaming site. It's totally
yeah, but we won't discuss that here.
no.
So yeah, before I start, then I'll bore everybody with the horrific details about my eye, which I was talking to Charlie about beforehand, and so I ended up having to get surgery at the last minute on the day. I went to see the doctor, and he said, "I can't let you leave here with that." He said, "That's got to go, and it's got to go now." So I said, "Okay." I waited. So I waited for about 4 or 5 hours, and they took me into this little room, and I sat on the chair. And they clamped my head in the thing and then put this gauze over. And I woke up and looked like Nicolas Cage. No,
Face off.
face off. But then the abscess was so big. He said, okay, so the only thing you're going to feel is whenever we numb it. So they did 7 injections around the abscess because it was so
Whoa.
big that I couldn't open the eye. And once they did that, he said, okay, we're going to start. So he started. And I felt the incision go into my eyelid. I felt the scalpel, and I was like, "I can feel it! I can feel it! What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He said, "The abscess is too big that we can't numb it fully." He says, "Just grit your teeth and bear it. We'll be done." So it's like the blood is like pouring out.
Fuck you. Oh no. Grit your teeth and bear it.
Yeah. I know. I was like
Uh-uh.
crying now. So that was that. And then they said there's still like a little scar there, but they said that by January it should have pretty much fully healed. So all's well ends well, but that was not fun. So that's why I haven't been doing these for such a long time, because I had the bandages on for about a month or so or whatever, and then it took ages for it to actually heal and everything else. So I was like, no, I need to rest up for a bit. But we're back now. So here we are. So on to the nice things and talking action movies. So first of all, does anybody want to see my shit? All the new stuff I bought. So
you got some cool new toys. We want to see your new toys.
Drive.
Nice Drive.
Which I actually forgot what a work of insane genius this movie is. Any movie which has a TV show people are watching called Walter the Einstein Frog is classic, if you ask me. Have you ever seen Drive, J-Man?
No.
With Mark Dacascos and Kareem Harrison. Oh my God, you will love it. You know, I'll probably just buy it for you for Christmas then.
Is that Vinegar Syndrome? Is that a Vinegar Syndrome?
88 films.
Oh,
and,
okay.
It's 4K, so it's region free. The movie is just an absolute riot. It's like really funny, but it's got great fight scenes and everything too, and it's just awesome movie.
I got to get a 4K player, man. I have a 4K TV, but not a 4K player.
That may happen sooner than you think, but we'll just leave it at that.
See, my Blu-ray.
Wait, I didn't know there was a perk package with this show. Wait,
my Blu-ray player is linked into my surround sound, so I can't unlink them. It's like it's part of the Blu-ray, so I'll lose my surround sound if I get 4K unless I buy the whole thing again. That's one of the problems that I had when I bought my Blu-ray. It was really cheap, but it came with everything, so I was like, okay. So without that, I have no sound. So I can't get a player without doing everything else.
That's the curse of the combo TVs back in the day when the VCR would die.
Yeah.
And all it is now is a television that just sits there with nothing else to do except you don't buy things in bundles, Jay, man. What's wrong with you?
No, come on.
I've had it for years. It's been pretty good. And the sound to me, the Blu-ray with the sound is still like pretty awesome because the TV is still 65-inch.
We'll start a J-Man GoFundMe for a sound bar.
Oh God.
So if you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll already seen a whole bunch of these things, which I got recently from my recent trip to the UK. I got Righting Wrongs with Eoin Biao and Cynthia Rothrock, and this is who was it? I can't remember the company that actually did this. Oh, it's 88 Films as well. Well, I've single-handedly been keeping 88 Films in business. By the way, 88 Films, if you want to send me free things to review, you could go right ahead because I'm buying all of these. Now, here is, oh shit, well, that was a nice 4K hard target. Wait till you see this. What this is.
Oh,
the Jack Burton truck.
Express.
Hell yeah.
So, there we are. So, I'll open it up.
Is that from Shout Factory?
Yes, it's from, I can't remember what the thing was called.
Because I've got the New York Shout Factory.
Yeah, but you get a little vinyl LP of the score.
Yeah.
Some tracks there. It's got the Pork Chop Express and the Alley War. And then you've got the Blu-ray of it there. Yeah. And it's the Shout Factory one with all special features. So
nice.
I'll be reviewing this very soon. It's probably going to get 5 stars. So.
How can it not?
So, but this was the second last one I got from the website, and then when I went back to the website, they were sold out. So it's now a collector's item.
Yep, I got that
4K.
Yep,
and it's amazing in quality.
I love it. I love it.
Well, 4K is right. I'm not going to keep everybody back. So
no, you're fine.
We also got The Thing on 4K.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. That's a good one.
Blade. Awesome.
I'd like to see that in 4K.
Yeah, so I haven't watched any of these yet.
Yeah.
2 movie collection.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I already had the first one, so I bought just the regular Maverick, but I got it.
I haven't watched this in years. I'm looking forward to it. Red Sonja.
I love Red Sonja. I just didn't get that because I don't have a 4K player, and I'm nervous about the all region. I know it's all region, but I'm really nervous about stuff like that because I've been burned so many times.
Oh no, all 4K is region free. That's the great thing about it. So that's why I can buy things anywhere. And then this is an action, but I got Krampus the Nazi.
Oh, Krampus, yeah.
Love Krampus.
Yeah, I got that last Christmas. I won't spoil anything for you.
Okay. I also got the Billy Jack collection.
Yeah, I've got that.
So I have never reviewed that, so I'm going to give that a watch and I'll check that out. So yeah, I watched Drive last night and forgot how awesome it is. So you can stay tuned for my review, which I'll be posting tomorrow. So there we are. So that's all the 4K update and all the cool shit there. So
well, I got an add-on to your 4K thing because I just got one in the mail last week, and I got the Starship Troopers Steelbook.
Oh, I've been looking at that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
So Blu-ray and 4K in it, and I haven't watched the 4K yet, but I am looking forward to doing that. So that came in the mail. I was excited.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And then also we had the John Wick 4 trailer the other day with extra Donnie Yen, and I was like, why isn't that movie not out now? The other thing is, where's Scott Adkins in the trailer? Like, Scott Adkins is supposed to be in it, but we haven't seen him yet. So
he's supposed to be in it, but we got like Scorpion in there. We got a ton of all these character actors in there, and I'm like, I just cannot wait, man.
Oh,
I am so excited for that.
Yeah, me too. The trailer looks awesome. It's got all the usual style.
Are we? Am
I think
froze?
No, you're not froze. I think Owen's froze. He lagged out. That's cool. We can keep carrying on while he's
carry it on.
We can do this streaming thing every once in a while. It's totally fine.
Well, I finally watched Killer Elite, which is basically what the Action Elite website was named after.
Oh, okay,
James Caan. I had never seen that. I've been doing a James Caan, trying to catch up. I did Alienation because I hadn't seen that.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. Yeah, Mandy Patinkin.
Mm-hmm.
And Killer Elite was wicked, man. Like the big fight at the end, Mako's in, my buddy Mako. And it's like the ninja appear on the boat and everything. That's really pretty cool. So Owen had told me that that's what the site was originally kind of, came out of the Elite part of it. Owen's completely gone.
Right.
That's
he gone. It's fine. We'll carry on.
All right. Well, so I really liked it. I thought it was good. The relationship between James Caan and Robert Duvall was interesting in the beginning, and then he kind of betrays him.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go.
Fuck up there. I had like internet issues. Were you guys still on there?
Yeah, we're still on.
Oh, we carried on. We carried on.
That's okay. I do live streams every 5 minutes, so it doesn't.
You're used to.
He's a regular.
I can just continue. I could just talk forever. I've got a cough, so I apologize if I keep muting. And I'll try to mute. I talk with my hands, so I'll try to mute quickly before I start like heaving into my new microphone. See, now it's gonna make me talking about it makes me want to cough.
There it goes.
Oh my god!
What shite was I rambling before we got cut
off?
What were you talking about?
Talking about John Wick, the trailer for John Wick 4. Yeah. Anyway, it looks awesome. It's out next March, so looking forward to that. So, sorry, what were you guys talking about there?
J-Man was telling me he finally got to watch Killer Elite after you were telling him that's where.
James Caan versus ninjas.
Yeah.
So I was doing. I had to do Alienation. We did the James Caan, sort of the.
We did the Eraser, and then we kind of did the tribute to it.
We did a little bit of a tribute. Yeah. So there's a few things I was noting down that I hadn't seen. Like I'd never seen Alienation, which is crazy. That's a J-Man kind of movie. And I never saw Killer Elite, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta watch those two. So I watched those two just recently. They were both really, really good. So yeah, that was. What else did I've been trying to catch up here and there. I just saw Psycho Gorman today, which is based on Charlie's.
You finally watched that?
I've never seen that. I've heard it's good. Yeah.
Oh, it's total jokes. It's like It's like a bloody Power Rangers. Everything is very silly, and it's like the kids are like they're irritating, but they're supposed to be irritating, so it's kind of funny. It's like The Gate meets Power Rangers if it was done with a hard R budget or hard R rating.
You put that and watch like Turbo Kid right after, you're talking about Psycho Gorman, which I have a little bit of news for everybody is there's a movie coming out and it just got released yesterday or the day before streaming, and you can get the Blu-ray. It's Crabs. And J-Man, I was telling you about this, where it's the giant kaiju.
I saw the trailer, yeah.
Crabs. So
we shit, they sent it to me and I forgot to post it. Sorry.
So we interviewed Pierce, the director. So we've been like right in there hand in hand with him on the promotions. So that is out now. And the company that did Psycho Gorman's DVD release, Turbo Kid's DVD release, is also doing Crabs. So I have the Blu-ray inbound. I can't wait because there's a commentary track on there that once you guys watch the movie, then we can talk about the commentary track that's on it.
Yeah, because I definitely want to buy that. Is that available to pre-order? Because I don't see it available.
Yeah. Did you go on the Raven brand?
On Amazon.com?
Not on Amazon. You got to go to the distributor is.
Put the link in the private chat, and I'll.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up in the private chat, and I'll put that in there. But yeah, I can get it through there. And they also had a new release of Turbo Kid Blu-ray, and it comes with a pack of trading cards in a wax pack.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I'm in. I that's all you had to get me at.
I've got a tin. I've got a steel book of I don't know how I got a steel book of Turbo Kid. I don't remember
that's awesome.
where I got that, and I got the I also got the soundtrack. I bought it from La Matos or whatever. Like I bought it from them through I think it's Bandcamp or something, and they give you a download. So I got that and Summer of '84, which is the other movie that the Turbo Kid guys made. Which I thought was pretty good too. I got that soundtrack as well. So
I'm just so happy you watched Psycho Gorman finally.
It's awesome, man. I was
not watching that.
Oh,
I told you would love it, man. Once I knew your vibe and stuff, and that we gotta go hand in hand on a lot of things. I was like, you have to watch that movie. It's so good. But yeah, so everybody go watch Crabs. Go boost that movie up. Oh, and share it. Put it on the group, man. It's
I got to remember to do it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Whenever my day job is so tediously busy, which it has been recently, then that's why whenever I'm not able to post that much on the site or whatever, and I'm like, look, I'm trying to do my real job here. Stop day job getting in my way.
Exactly. This is the job.
This is my real job.
This is the job.
I don't have time for my actual job that pays me. I don't have time to do it.
Bills. No, it just gets in the way. That's the thing.
Don't they know I've got to review comics? I've got like, there's all this crap I got to do. Like, stop it.
So irritating. You guys get in my way. Stop it. Oh man.
So interesting bit of news. Someone pointed out to me on Dolph Lundgren's Instagram the other day that you know how he had like surgery on his ankle recently.
Yeah.
He's like on crutches or whatever for the time being, but he's back in training. He says for Expendables 5 and 6.
So he must have the apology between him and Sly must have went well after the.
I guess so, yeah. Although Sly may not be involved with the next ones because this is his last one. So
that's true. He's going to be in the behind the scenes stuff though. I don't see him like fully walking away. He'll be like executive producer or something like that. Because that's what he got pissed off at Lundgren about with the Creed and Drago series continuing on. But hey, if they worked it out, they worked it out. That's awesome.
I mean, I just watched Samaritan, which we can talk about. But
I watched it. Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was actually really awesome. But I guessed within. As soon as they showed the intro of what it was, I'm like, I know exactly what's going. I know.
So exactly. I was like, oh come on, is this going to be that obvious? And it was. I'm like, come on.
That was our big. We live streamed about it. Me and Nate did right after. It wasn't great. Nate was more disappointed in it than I was, but I also wasn't like over the moon, because I think I had just watched. And me and you had just done Day Shift. Was that the vampire?
Was one of the yeah.
Which I was like, I fucking love that movie, and then I was like, I got Stallone coming next. I was like, dude, this is so predictable. It felt like Last Action Hero with the kid thing going on. It even had, like all these other tropes going into it, and I was just like, I don't know. It was watchable, but it's not like gonna hit my top 10 this year.
Because I haven't even seen 5 good movies this year, so that's one of them. So it's like Maverick's number 1.
That's one. Period.
Yeah, and then I got to watch Maverick on the plane last week. Watching Top Gun on the plane.
I don't know if that's safe.
I can fly.
Get out of the way. Pilot out of the seat.
How fast can this thing go?
All of a sudden, Kenny Loggins is playing on the overhead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your captain speaking. We're just about to enter the danger zone. So then the tunes come on. That's how you do it. I know. So, we got Brennan. Hey, Brennan. All right.
What's going on, man? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say, though, my number 2 is going to be Violent Night. I have that much confidence in that movie.
I think it will be. I think it'll be awesome.
I think it's going to be my number 2 for the year. I don't know if we lump in horror and action. That's where I'd be like, I don't know if it ranks up that high, because there's a couple other movies we've watched. Prey's up there for me. Hellraiser reboot is up there for me. Not perfect, but it's up there. Halloween's not on the list.
Halloween is on the worst movie of the year.
But bottom 10 is where we start with that one. And I still need to watch Terrifier 2. I did watch the first one, but Charlie,
I didn't see the second one.
I hate clowns, so forgive me if I'm not tripping over myself to watch the movie.
Dude, after Owen got me, he's like, you got to watch these movies, because I literally thought they were just going to be trash crap, because I like slashers, and I'm just tired of how crap they all are.
Yeah.
And then Owen's like, you got to watch Terrifier 1 and 2. So I one-upped Owen, because I did All Hallows Eve, which is the first appearance of Art in regular movies, not counting Damien Leone's like little movies that he made prior.
Right.
So I watched All Hallows Eve and Terrifier 2. Thank God I'm a fast purchaser, because I went on and quickly pre-ordered all Art the Clown stuff that you could possibly pre-order, because it's all sold out now, because that movie now is skyrocketed on a 3-cent budget, and it's making millions and millions of dollars. $250,000 budget, and it's at like 10 million or something.
I was gonna say, I think it's way above. I think it's almost breaking 20 million at this point or something.
I mean, that's insane. Really,
it's crazy. That's like Blair Witch talk, on how low of a budget to how much money it makes now. So I will watch it. Like I said, I'm just not in a rush to watch.
I know I'll watch it, but I know they're doing a like a Blu-ray double pack of the Terrifier movies, so I'm just going to wait for that, and then I'll pick that up.
I don't know if I'm going to buy them. I don't know.
Oh, I pre-ordered them already. But wait, and you didn't watch Terrifier 2?
No, I couldn't find it out on the cinema anywhere. So I know it's on like streaming now or whatever. I will check it out at some point. I've just not had the time. Like, I haven't even watched any of these 4Ks I've bought yet. So
oh my god,
I still got stuff wrapped in plastic, man. I mean, it's like Jesus.
Yeah, you got me to. You're like, I've got to see it, and then now I've surpassed you. What happened?
Yeah, I've only seen the first one. That's the thing. So I'm just gonna blind buy it. So,
you got to watch All Hallows Eve as well. It's kind of fun. That's the first Art the Clown, different actor though.
We watch movies through each other though. That's how this works. Yeah. J-Man, watch this. I watch this. Owen, watch this, and then we talk about it later.
Well, Terrifier 2 is a masterpiece.
Okay. Last Night in Soho, I haven't watched yet. I bought it because Steve said it was good, and if it's not, Steve, we're gonna have words.
No. Steve and I butted heads on that one.
Oh, really?
Steve likes a certain actress in it, so he's got the Anya Taylor-Joy goggles on while watching that movie.
She looks like an alien.
Yeah, my wife and I don't have those. My wife and I have different prescriptions, so when we watch that together, we're just like, this is like not that great. And I immediately knew exactly everything that was going on immediately, but it has Diana Rigg in it, and Diana Rigg's tattooed right here. So she's one of my favorites.
Is that her last role? I think it was, wasn't it?
That's her last role.
Yeah.
And she's awesome in it. But the movie is okay. It'll look really nice on 4K.
Don't say anything else. Sure. Don't spoil it, because I haven't watched it yet. So
it's like,
yeah.
Is Anya Taylor in the new Mad Max prequel that's coming out?
She's in everything now.
Yeah, she plays. That's the thing with Hollywood these days. It's the same like 5 actors they have in every fucking movie. It's just it's like really boring, which is why I barely go to the cinema anymore.
Did you see her interview the other day though? She came out and said that when she was tapped to do The Witch, she had actually turned down an offer to do
Disney pilot,
Disney stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was ballsy. Like normally
you girl.
That's awesome. And I think she's going to do a lot better because she's staying in the more artsy stuff. I liked her in stuff like The Northman and stuff like that. I thought she worked really well in those roles. And I think she's playing Furiosa in the prequel for the thing. And I'm curious. I want to see how that goes. I got a feeling we get to see like how she loses the arm and shit like that,
right.
That kind of thing.
Well, I liked Queen's Gambit.
Never saw that.
No, I didn't watch that.
So, well, I'm a nerd and played chess in school, so I like it.
Nerd.
I'm a nerd, like a nerd, not a geek.
We need the J-Man drops here. Why don't we have that as our little like pop up? Nerds.
No, I don't know. I get on to set all those up, man.
I got to add that in. The guy from going nerds from Revenge of the Nerds.
Nerds.
Get some ogre in here, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we were talking about some of our favorites of this year. Don't know if either of you have seen it. Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's on my watch list, the Scott Adkins, because I heard great things about it. So
I can't decide if I prefer it to the first one or not. I like them both. But I really liked it anyway. It's one of my favorites, probably my second favorite of the year. Good fight scenes, very funny. It doesn't take itself seriously. I love when movies just don't take themselves seriously. That's one of the reasons why I love Drive so much. It's just one of these movies that's just like so ridiculous, and you just enjoy the ridiculousness of it.
Right.
And Accident Man's really funny. Has really awesome kills and some good violent kills as well. So definitely really good.
I would put Day Shift up on my list, and that also has Scott Adkins in there as one of the that fight sequence with him in that movie is a movie in its own.
Oh yeah, that was the best part of it.
Yeah, I mean, really.
We are going to do a live stream at the end of next month anyway. It'll be 2022 of the year in action, where we go back over the good and bad of the year. So we'll do that. So this is just in general.
We can compile our list properly. We can
exactly.
Take this one, move this one here. I think that'll work.
I don't even know if I've seen 10. I'm going through the list here, unless you count.
I know.
I'm sitting here doing the same thing because I don't sit there like me and Owen were talking earlier. Like I haven't really watched like all these like quick release ones, like direct to DVD, the Bruce Willis's,
I have
like that.
Some of them. So some of the Bruce Willis ones, like last week I watched Detective Night Rogue, which was okay. Like I'm never going to say anything bad about Bruce Willis because he's got the asphyxia.
Yeah, no, I will never disparage the man for that.
That is not the problem. The problem was the film was just kind of boring. There just wasn't that much. There was a great like opening heist scene that was really good, and then kind of like nothing happens after that for a while. It was all right. The biggest disappointment for me was Paradise City because the trailer was like Travolta versus Willis, and you're like, oh,
that's what hooked me. I was until I talked to you earlier, I was like, it's the one I really want to sit down and watch. And then I was like, yeah.
Maybe 30 seconds of screen time together. There's no fight scene between them both, whatever. It's like they both point a gun at each other on the beach at the end, and it's like one shot. That's pretty much it. It's just like really, really disappointing.
That's disappointing.
Lame.
That's from the director of Eraser. That's from Chuck Russell, who directed Eraser and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Like, this guy's a good director, and it's not that the film's badly directed either. Like, it looks nice and the action is slick enough, but I don't know. It's just the script wasn't great. But I'm just going to be honest. How many action movies do you see these days where the script is good and memorable? I mean, how many movies do you quote these days? I mean, you don't.
Nothing really that you quote right now.
No, I mean, that's the thing.
I'm hoping for one that I quote. I really hope I quote David Harbour all of 2023. That's
that's what I'm hoping.
I am hoping for that. And also, I got promised for it because I loved Fat Man when that came out. Mel Gibson. Yeah, so I was like, I know they can pull this off. And 87 North, that production company is killing it. I mean, they're the ones that did Bullet Train, the John Wick movies, Nobody, stuff like that. So they're going to bring it. So I'm looking forward to it. And that's a production company people are kind of sleeping on right now. They're not really paying attention to them, and they're going to sneak up on Hollywood. They're going to be like the go-to action company. Hey, if you're listening out there, guys, still trying to get somebody to come on the show so I can interview them. I don't care if it's a grip. I don't care if it's the guy to get your coffee. I just want to interview somebody.
I don't care if you're the janitor.
I don't care. I don't care if you dab the sweat off Brad Pitt's brow. I don't give a shit. Come on the show, man. We'll just talk.
Yeah.
So would you put something? See, top 10s are always weird for me. When I used to do them, I stopped doing them. Like sometimes it's like I don't find that there's 10 movies. Okay, I've obviously have seen 10 movies, but if I don't feel that they're even good enough to mention,
I'm not doing a top 10. Yeah, I'm just gonna say like what my favorite movies are. And that's maybe going to be like 4 or 5. I mean, that's all I've seen this year that's been good.
One this year that we all agree is number one.
Yeah, Maverick's number one.
It is number one, period. That's proof in the pudding, proof in the money, in the movie, everything there's number one. But literally it's going to be like, what 10 movies did you enjoy watching for the year? That's really, and even then we can even do 5. That's not stretching it that much more either, where you can just be like, yeah, maybe 5 would be where I could do it like a top. Like these are the ones you should watch right now. Other ones would be like, it was okay. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, the interest level is so low. I used to see so many movies. I kept track from 1993 to like 2010 or something. I kept track of everything I saw in the theater. There was one year I saw 56 movies in the theater.
Jesus.
So I used to do top 10 what I saw in the theater, top 10 what I saw at home. That's how, like, you know what I mean? Like I
got you. Yeah.
That was a distinguishing thing because I was like, well, I didn't see it in the theater, so that's a different experience. Now it's like top 10. It's like, sure, it's going to be like, whatever, a couple of superhero movies and
nothing's really coming out though. I mean, it's post the vid, so it's like they're not really putting things out. Like we just talked about, Violent Night's only going to be playing for a week because they want to get it streaming and
I think it's going to be next year when things start to pick up again, because it's really been sort of this year that things start to go. But even then,
I hope so.
things that are in production, there's still not much going on in terms of like action that I'm excited about.
We've already seen trailers for 2024. We're already hearing talk of 2025. It's like, I hate when they do that. I'm like, you know what? Let me know like 6 months ahead before a movie comes out. I want to see things like what they did. Like I haven't watched Smile, but do like that, like where there's this viral thing happening like a few weeks before. Barbarian was the same. Barbarian I thought was brilliant in their marketing. We're not going to tell you shit. Here's a trailer. We're not going to tell you shit. And I was like, I love your marketing.
Now we know why, though.
I love the first half of the movie.
Not the first half. It's 40 minutes. I timed it.
As J-Man likes to point out.
I haven't seen it.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but literally,
there's nothing to spoil. It sucks.
Oh, really?
Bad.
Good things.
No,
well, you heard them wrong. They're liars. Tell me who's lying to you.
Who are these people that are giving you this information? Point them out now.
So actually, just when you mentioned Bullet Train a minute ago, what did you guys think of that?
I loved it. I mean, but it's not
all right.
It's not a perfect movie. It was different. It was, in my opinion, it was kind of refreshing. I enjoy. Do you know the basic plot of it, J-Man?
Yep. Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
Okay, so where Brad Pitt doesn't want to kill people. He's an assassin bag boy now. It's like, I'll go do these jobs. I don't want to kill anyone. He's going through like this existential crisis and all this other stuff. And I enjoyed the dialogue, but the ride, and I love again what 87 North is doing, that they are almost the masters of close quarter choreography, and I love the fights. And Lemon and Tangerine, their dynamic in that movie, I could watch them all day. Like, I want their prequel now. I want their prequel movie of how they got where they are.
Them versus the Nazarian brothers. There you
go. They're all, and you could do that. There's no reason you couldn't say that's in the same universe as those. I really enjoyed it, but it is a popcorn action movie. You sit down, you watch it. It's a tad long. I'll agree with Owen on that.
I thought it was too long. Yeah, to me, it's like a 3-star movie. Okay.
Well, I told you, it's like I'm 7.5 out of 10, so that's a 3-star.
Yeah.
But it's at that score, I feel like that's worth a watch, especially in what we're talking about. There's not a lot out there. It is a diamond in the rough of a lot of shit that's not out there right now, to really enjoy. I thought it was fun, and I just love that choreography style. I love the guys. They treat the fights as movies, little mini movies when you're watching the fights, and it's just fun. It's chaotic, and it's just it's a ride. You're on a bullet train. I got it. I had a blast with it. I watched it in theater, and immediately, like, aside from Maverick, that's the one I've been like, where's my physical? Where's my physical media? I want it now, and I've probably already watched it 3 times. So,
I don't think I would buy it. I watched it once, and I was like, that's fine. Yeah,
watch it again. It's one of those, I still feel like once you kind of know the story, not giving any away to J-Man, but now you can watch for other things as you're watching the movie, and you're like, oh yeah, I get it now. And you can just, and my second and third one was like, I really want to pay attention to how they were fighting, the styles that they're all using. Like Brad Pitt's character, it's really wild how they do his things. And I'm really trying not to spoil anything for J-Man right now.
So spoilers don't affect me, but
I just don't want. I don't want to give anything away on. I want you to experience.
That's all right. I mean, there's nothing majorly.
Well, no,
anyway.
Well, fine. I'll just say Brad Pitt kills people, and it's not him that kills them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's the whole shtick with him. He doesn't kill anyone in the movie.
Is it like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, where like they somehow just get killed through his action or inaction? Yeah.
Everyone, like I was even reading an article about it because I was like, he doesn't really do it, and they were pointing it out. Like, yeah, that's kind of his thing. You know, he's supposed to be unlucky in the movie, and he's actually the luckiest person in the movie as it goes.
So that sounds kind of neat. That sounds kind of a neat premise. I just think people don't know how to edit themselves. And when I saw 2+ hours, I'm like, oh man, I already know this is going to be irritating to me. And
yeah, that's the thing. It's the kind of movie that the story and everything is a 90-minute story. And I was like, it's not interesting enough to keep me engaged for that amount of time. And if I reach for my phone, I'm watching at home and I'm like scrolling Instagram, whatever.
I never did that with that movie. Even when even after I'd seen it one time in the theaters, when I brought it home, I'd never touched my phone. I was glued to the TV watching it. But again, everything's subjective, man. I mean, we all find stuff that we like and we don't like. That one just struck me just at the right time, the right kind of pacing, the right kind of, action storytelling. And I'm a fan of that studio. So, when you're a fan of, it's like being a fan of Canon. Most people are going to watch that and go, these are fucking garbage movies. But I'm going to sit there.
They're not people I want to know.
Exactly. These are my favorite movies. Shut up. I love Canon movies,
Which brings me into the next segue. Actually, does anybody remember Michael Dudikoff Presents?
Yes.
Action Adventure Theater.
Yes.
As a Bridge to Hell, Cross Mission, Urban Warriors, The Bronx Executioner. I need to get those movies so I can do like a piece on them.
He did all those are movies he did, or what?
No, he hosted a show.
He hosted a show, yeah,
like a Joe Bob Briggs kind of thing, but with Michael Dudikoff.
Yes,
dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I need that. Yeah, I need that in my life. Yeah,
I want to watch that. I would check that out. I actually saw something today, and there was a movie I had never seen. My tattooist was she puts it on like action movies when she's tattooing movie. Go figure. And I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I saw these like two guys in jumpsuit overalls, almost look like Ghostbusters, but they had Uzis, and this like post-apocalyptic gang chasing them in a warehouse, and a dude flips up an umbrella that's bulletproof, and they start having this gunfight. And I'm like, the hell is this? And then I see a drag transvestite bad guy that looks like Gene Simmons running around, and I start looking it up, and it's called Never Too Young to Die.
I've heard of that.
Starring John Stamos. Yep. And it wasn't someone that looks like Gene Simmons. It was Gene Simmons. Like, I'm talking like it looked like those Italian.
Oh yes, I know this movie.
The Bronx Warriors and stuff.
The Bronx Warriors.
I love that.
And I'm watching this. I'm like, what? Like, it's so over the top.
Thunder Warrior, the big poster.
Yeah, I got that's cool.
Yeah, it felt just like that. Like, there's normally dressed people. It's got Vanity, the girl from Action Jackson, and Last Dragon. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I know. So there's people that look normally dressed, and then Mad Max dudes running around trying to kill them. Yeah. And I was like, I have to watch this later. Like, I couldn't like focus on it, but I was like, I'm watching this movie. I don't know what this is, but John Stamos fighting Mad Max Road Warrior characters looks amazing.
I've never seen that.
I feel like we need to know. That's like a movie day.
That might be one we have to do. That is, it was wild. I guess there's a riff tracks of it I found when I looked it up, but I was like, I want to watch it pure before I watch them make fun of it.
I'm like the only person that doesn't like these.
See, I'm the same. I don't watch them. It's like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah,
I hate seeing people mocking other people's work, even no matter how bad it is. Or I'm like, if I'd made something and then somebody made this, and like, fuck this guy's movie, this is shite, I'd be like,
no, but make your own movie if you're so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
they did. Them talking about the movie is now their movie.
Is now their movie, right?
I mean, I don't like all of them, but there are some when you watch them and you're like, yeah, okay, this is pretty fucking funny. Like they're not lying. Well, we do it. We really do. We sit there and we rib on, even when we do our reviews, we rib on certain things in the movies. They're just getting paid to do it. So who's losing here?
FYI, if anybody wants to pay us to do it, that's fine.
I'll do it for
totally available. All our contacts are in the chat, so you can reach out to any of us.
Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I'll say it's bad, and then I'll just do it for money. No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you know what else I watched? I suppose it is an action movie because there's like battle scenes and stuff in it. But I watched The Woman King.
Oh my
the
gosh!
other day,
Yes.
I streamed that, and like according to YouTubers, it's like this terrible, awful movie because they changed it historically accurate, and I'm like, I don't care. I just want to be entertained. It's not a documentary, and it was. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the PG-13 rating hurts it. I thought this movie and the subject matter, this should be rated R because there should be like heads being lopped off and shit like that.
We need people in the theater for that one.
Yeah.
I think what most people were upset is not that they changed history, but that if another movie had altered history, they would be angry at that movie. Why are they not angry at this movie?
And also the fact that Viola Davis was like, you need to support this movie or you're a piece of shit, basically.
Right. At the same time saying you shouldn't support other movies if you're a certain type of person. It's like, so I shouldn't see movie? Like I've never lived in such a weird time where
I know it's like they threaten you not to see it or to see it or whatever. It's like, if you don't see this, you're a piece of shit. And you're like,
yeah, it's like, should I see this?
We get told not to go. It's not for you. But then when it fails, you guys didn't go watch it. Well, you fucking told me not to.
Like I haven't seen Wakanda Forever, and I have no intention to. Yeah, I know. I watched your video, and you said it sucked, and I was like, I'll watch it on Disney Plus. That's fine. The MCU ended with Endgame for me, and if it were me, if I had been doing it after Endgame, I would have left it for 5 years and not had any Marvel stuff. So then they could have done good stuff.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that the other day. It's like once the money machine starts rolling, you can never stop it. Like so that's why we're getting shit. It's because they have to put something out. That's even if it might lose money, it might not. So it's this now. It's a perpetual thing. Yeah. But I'm with you. I'm burned out on it. I am totally burned out on that shit, man.
Well, I'm never.
No,
burned
you're
out,
not.
But I'm not burned out, but they're not good. So I still am waiting for some good ones. Well, I like Doctor Strange too, but like I'm waiting for some good ones to come out. I think the issues is that they've got their 5 years or they lose their license to the character, so they have to keep
is that what it is?
out, right?
Does that still work for that when they own Marvel though?
It depends on how it works. I don't know. Like I know
Sony has to, because that's why they changed Namor in it, because they don't have the rights issues. I think Universal has the rights to him, so he's not Namor the sea submariner. He's a Namor.
I can't discuss that. It'll literally anger me.
I know. I've watched your video, by the way. Everyone, go to J-Man's channel and check out his review.
He'll literally Hulk out.
I know. I literally can't take it. That's my Namor shelf right there. I can't take it. But yeah, I think everything is too overproduced, including some action films. Like, why don't you, instead of making a 3-hour Black Panther movie, why don't you make a 90-minute Black Panther movie that costs $100 million and not 200 and something million? Pare it down, make it an adventure. Like, this movie could not be saved because they didn't recast T'Challa, which is a mistake. But whatever. Take any superhero.
Go into that in a second.
Yeah. Take any superhero. Take Spider-Man. Next Spider-Man movie. Make it 90 minutes. He fights Scorpion. That's it. He there's a beginning action scene.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Scorpion gets called in. Scorpion beats him up. Looks like he's taking him out. Scorpion realizes he's stuck in the suit. He gets pissed off at James and everyone else who forced him into the suit. He goes on a rampage. Spider-Man comes back to save the day, wins. You have a couple of scenes with the girlfriend. Done. If it's a 90-minute movie, you can watch it a bunch of times in the theater. You can watch it a bunch of times at home. I don't have time to watch all these movies to get excited for the next one because I pick it up on Blu-ray. It's 3 hours. And I'm like, I don't have time to watch this for 3 hours. And then the next week comes out. I'm like, what happened in the last one? That never used to happen before because I would buy a movie and watch it 100 times that by the next time it came out, I memorized the previous movie. That's because they were shorter and tighter. This idea of let's make it 2.5 hours, make it 3 hours, overproduce it. It costs $200 million. Make it for $100 million. If you cut out an hour of effects, it's all effects. If you cut out an hour of effects, you don't have to make as much. Wakanda Forever is done. It's already it's 73% low.
Really?
On second, it's already dropped 73%. Well, because it sucks. Firstly, the movie sucks, so that's a whole separate issue. But it's not going to make the money. And they're like, well, Thor: Love and Thunder dropped as well. Now, Doctor Strange almost made $1 billion, so that's pretty good. So that one was okay.
But that one was fun, and that
But
honestly, if they'd have shortened it a little bit, it would have been that fast punch.
Right.
Basically, make a movie that's a comic book. Take the comic book, take a storyline, give me a 90-minute movie. I'm with you on that.
Right.
And then we can still do.
Not a comic book.
You could do one every 2 year, 2.5 hour long thing. Like that's what the Avengers deserve. Like we all had Iron Man, Captain America. I rewatched the first Captain America again and went, this is fucking fantastic.
That's my favorite MCU
Why
movie.
are we not keeping this type of formula going forward? Now it's all like it has to be as long as Endgame, has to be as long as Infinity Saga.
No, have to be. Yeah, some of us have to pee.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no story. It's not. Endgame had a lot of loose ends, and Infinity War did a lot. So I can get that.
But that's because it was the scope. Like they almost went too big for their scope and went, oh shit, we got to kind of get this done in 2 movies. Right. And so there are some loose ends on that one.
But yeah, like Wakanda Forever, 2 hours 40 minutes. Are you guys insane? Are you literally insane?
That's what put me off. I saw the runtime and I was like, nah, I'll wait until Disney Plus.
There's no storyline.
Have they said? Go ahead. No,
Namor wants to kill Riri. That's it. It's like, okay, where's the rest of the story? There's no spoilers. There's nothing. It's mind-boggling. You're like, it's just dialogue scenes where there's no point. If you remove this entire sequence, nothing would matter. Like it's crazy.
My thing was, they've spent all this time setting up the multiverse in this phase, but as far as I know, they didn't really do anything with it in this movie, do they? No. So, because like what I was thinking, and I was like, oh, well, what they should have done is then do a multiverse version of Eric Killmonger, and he becomes a Black Panther, and you bring in Michael B. Jordan, and you recast the role, kind of, but it's a different guy, so then it's still paying respect to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, you have the ultimate reset. You have the ultimate reset button built into the movies now with the multiverse.
Because Killmonger was a more interesting character in the original Black Panther. Anyway, I thought. I mean, the movie had its flaws, but I liked him in it.
It did, but it almost kind of followed that same, like it was more, I think it was just around 2 hours.
It was a bit long as well.
It was a bit long, but it was still a very like tight storyline. Here's the story. Here's what we're doing. A bad guy, and then it's done at the end. We know what the end of that movie is. I was going to ask, have we heard like what the next Ant-Man is going to run at on runtime yet?
Probably 2 hours 20 minutes.
See, I'm hoping not, because based on the trailer, I'm like, that is kind of what I want, like this little internal adventure that is just them, and like they're going to dig into where the other Yellow Jacket lady, what she did while she was in the quantum realm. And Wasp. I'm like, okay, Wasp, brain gone. Yeah.
Yellow Jacket's the villain.
One of those. You know what I mean?
Well, he wasn't the villain when it was Ant-Man, but anyways.
Too many freaking movies for me to remember it. But anyway, the storyline looks like one of those that you could do that in 90 minutes.
For sure, inner space.
Could. Yeah, you could do that and get it done and just make it a fun standalone movie. Done.
They won't do it. It needs to be an event picture, and that's where they failed on all these movies. The recasting of look, it needs to be T'Challa recast. It cannot be anyone else, because T'Challa is the first, not counting a 1-issue appearance on a 1 comic publication of Lion Man, not counting that. Black Panther, T'Challa is the first Black superhero there ever was, ever. Not like the first Marvel or the first whatever, the first period out of anybody. That character is dead in the MCU. Let this sink in for a second. We're all about diversity. Well, first of all, Battlestar has been killed. He was a Black superhero. He was killed in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now T'Challa's dead. It's like, okay. So the first Black superhero is dead in the MCU. This is not what Chadwick Boseman wanted for young Black boys who want a superhero. He did not go through pain and suffering to complete this film. The way the legacy continues is that the character continues. The character is the legacy. If James Bond ended with our good friend Sean Connery, that would be it. We wouldn't be talking about James Bond. James Bond needs to live on in films, in the public eye, so that there is a legacy. Now, there is no T'Challa legacy. Oh, we're honoring his legacy. No, you've erased it. Because did any of you read James Bond novels? You watch the movies. It lived on in movie. Now I have read the novels, but
I've read the novels. Yeah.
I was going to say, I hope it's a rhetorical question.
No, but I mean, like a lot of people don't. Like a lot of people didn't read the books. They know them from a movie, right? The movies were the biggest thing. That's why it continued. If it just ended with Sean Connery and there was no James Bond movies after that, because no, Sean Connery cannot be recast, that would have been the end of James Bond. There'd be no legacy. The fact that there is a legacy is that the movies continue. Look at Tarzan. Tarzan's dead now. He's not dead. Tarzan #1 just relaunched again this last week in comics. Did anyone buy it? No, I got it. It's like no one cares because he's not in the movies anymore. He had that one movie, that's it. Prior to that, what can you remember? And if it doesn't continue in movies, there's no legacy to continue because people will forget. Where's the Phantom? There's no Phantom legacy. The Phantom comic strip has never ended. It's come out every day since 1930 something. There's one today. Every morning I read it. It has never stopped. But does anyone know about the Phantom? No. Longest running and first costume superhero of all time. Nobody knows about him because there's no movies. So there's no legacy of Billy Zane because it's dead. If Billy Zane did 1 or 2 movies and then a couple of guys continued and more continued, then we all remember, yeah, Billy Zane was the first and best Phantom. You know, T'Challa's gone. It's crazy to me. There's no T'Challa. The first black superhero's gone.
J-Man's starting to turn a little green, so we might want to talk about
sort of Hulk out. So we'll move on to
tangent.
Move slowly on to another subject. Back away.
No sudden movements.
Black Adam was all right. It was. I think it was better than expected. I actually went to see it again because Ed missed it. Ed missed it whenever he had bronchitis a few weeks ago, so he wanted to go see it. And I was like, I'll go see it with you. And I said it's worth seeing just for the post-credit scene. It was one of the worst cinematic experience I've had since the Meg. Just in terms of people, there were like these like young girls at the back and just screaming and running around all the way through it, and I was like, where is my flamethrower? I was like, it reminded me of that. I really do hate going to the movies these days. I used to love going to it, but my hatred of the human race is a bit of a problem. So, if I can wait till streaming, I will for most movies. I think now. So
I'm waiting for streaming on Black Adam. I mean, not that I don't want to watch it, but I'm just to that point of, especially with DC. I don't think I've watched a DC movie in the theaters. I did see Batman. That was different. That was more of an event type thing, but I don't go watch any of the other ones in theater. I'll wait for it.
3 hours of pseudo investigation to lead to Batman not solving the crime.
I don't want to get you started on another tangent. It's fine. It's fine.
Stop it.
Just rewatch the car sequence. That's all. Just rewatch that one.
That's the only scene
That's it. Just on repeat. That's it. That's all I need.
Did anybody watch Section 8? Probably not. Scott Adkins is in it as well. I was earlier this year as well. From Christian.
I am so far behind on like new release like action that goes straight to streaming.
I've been catching up on it recently, the streaming ones, because I've been watching so many horror movies. And FYI, I forgot just how awesome the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are. I love like all of them.
Yeah.
I just love what a dick Freddy is. He's just a dick. It's just great.
I just don't like part 6 because it's just so.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah, but my favorite one's part 3. I love part 3. Yeah.
Which one's part 6?
And, is that I also love
Freddy's Dead. The final.
Freddy's Dead. Yeah.
I enjoy that one. That one's fun.
I enjoy it too because it sucks, but not as critical. J-Man enjoys everything. Like I like every Hellraiser movie, but if I'm being critical, then no.
Yeah. I enjoy that one. That one's got. That one
I like that. I can enjoy the Hellraiser movies. Yeah, I enjoy them all. I love Freddy versus Jason. That's actually
for sure.
Like that's maybe my favorite Freddy or Jason movie is like the two of them because it's my favorite versus movie, and I'll tell you why. It captures the spirit of both franchises perfectly, and both characters get moments to shine. You get plenty of Freddy, you get plenty of Jason, you get lots of pointless nudity. The lead chick is hot in it. You get lots of good kills, and then the face-off between them both is fucking epic. It's just a thoroughly satisfying.
It's just fun. Movie. It's just
just a riot.
It's the same as watching Jason X. It's just fucking fun. Yeah. That's all. No one's asking you to take anything serious. It's like the people that can't stand Jason Goes to Manhattan or Takes Manhattan. I love it. I love it.
Punches somebody's head off. Like
exactly. Like uppercut gone. I mean, I love those, and I get this. No, Kane Hodder Jason sucks. I'm like, shut up.
He's the best Jason. Everybody knows that. That's
absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
Science.
If Kane Hodder was Jason in Freddy versus Jason, that would have
elevated it.
Because that's what we wanted to see. It's
that was the biggest disappointment with that was when we found out that Kane wasn't going to get to do it. I'm like, why? He's literally been Jason every other time since like 6. It's 6 in Friday.
No, it's 6 is CJ Graham.
Or is it
then
7?
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9.
X.
The psychic girl. That's 7, right?
Tina
is
7. Yeah, I've seen those movies. You don't want to know how many times I've seen each of those movies.
No, but
why do these horror movies always have people called Tina in them? Halloween has someone called Tina. The First Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Tina.
I found though doing the horror side though, when we do like looking up stuff, that a lot of them just love to reference other movies. So it'd be like, oh, like this character, her name was Tina. That's because this guy worked on this movie, and that was the character in that movie. And you're like, wow, there's 1,000 other names out there, guys. We can be a little bit more creative sometimes instead of everyone having a Tina or everyone having a Kathy or anything. Yeah.
Psycho Gorman had a few things where they're from Gygax, which I think is for Gary Gygax, who created Dungeons and Dragons. So I don't know if that was a thing. And
that
it has to be, because that's I was like, the second they said that name, I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's not a generic name. But there's other names too that were funny. I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing there. It's pretty
and that is the movie I expected in. That's the movie I want to be like, spoofing the tropes in those movies. I love Psycho Gorman.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Sorry. I've seen
for ages.
Never heard of it. Then one day I walked through Walmart and there it was for like $10. And I'm like, $10, I'll try it. It looks cool.
Why not?
No one had told me anything about it. And I watched that movie and I'm like, holy shit. I have to tell the world about Psycho Gorman.
Yeah. Well, I had heard of it. I didn't see it because I was just like, there's just like a bit there with horror or anything even remotely. I'm like, everyone's just like lame now. And I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything.
No. What, like talking of, I saw it at Walmart. There are 1,000 little horror, like Shark Week was coming up, and I swear to God, there was 15 shark movies at Walmart. Alien Shark, Land Shark, Desert Shark. I'm like, who is making these? What is going on?
I tried to keep up, man. I'd watch like about 15. I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And I just cold turkey stopped it. I'm like, I can't do these anymore. It's just too many.
Jackie turned on one and it had, crap. What was her name? Some famous like leading girl. I want to say it's like Mandy Moore or some shit like that. And it was a shark movie. Worst piece of shit I'd ever sat through in my life.
Right.
Like, I was like, what? We have a running joke. She picked crap, Deep Water or something like that. The one where they're stranded out in the water and the movie takes forever for anything.
I didn't mind that first one. Is that where they're trapped in the thing? Or
yeah, and it's like this is horrible. And so from then on, I've always Open Water. That was
Open
the movie.
Water. Yeah.
I watched that piece of shit, and I won't ever live it down because she bought it. And that was when DVDs were like $20-some when they came out. And I'm like, no, I'm never letting you live it down. But no, there's like, I watched this movie and it was Drew Barrymore or something. I can't remember who the girl was. And I watch it and I'm just like, this is horrible. The CG was bad. Everything was bad. One cool scene at the towards the end, and then it's all fake. I'm like literally in the movie, she was hallucinating the whole time. And I'm like, so you ruined the cool thing in the movie even more.
Man.
Hated it.
Hated it. Yeah. I'm about to go on to a movie, and I'm about to go into a major spoiler, which we'll talk about in a minute. But hello, Jimmy. This is what's up, guys.
Happening,
Glad
Jimmy?
to see you back in action. Enjoy these live streams and a free-flowing conversation. Yeah, I'd like to do this more often, where we're just shooting shit, talking about this. So, obviously we'll do the odd thing like verses and things like that, and talk about certain movies or whatever. Yeah. But I like doing this because it's been so long. Being out of action,
we've built up stuff to talk about. That's kind of what it is.
Catching up on it all. So it is nice to be back. So a movie I watched the other day, it's called On the Line with Mel Gibson.
I want to watch this. Yeah.
Do you guys mind if I spoil it?
Spoil it. I may not be able to watch it for a year, Owen. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so you have been warned. I'm about to spoil the ending of On the Line, right? So if anybody is listening or watching and you don't want to be spoiled, go to the bathroom or something for a second, come back in a minute. So in the movie, Mel Gibson plays this like motormouth DJ guy called Elvis, and he's sort of arrogant asshole, and he's does this like late night talk show. And then one night, one guy called Gary calls him. He says, I'm outside your house and I'm going to get revenge on you for being an asshole, and tries to get him to admit his sins and everything that he's done in his life. And I was like, oh, this is really good. And it starts getting like really, really tense, and you're like, oh, how's this going to end? And there's a new guy that's started that day. And I was like, okay, this new guy's going to be involved in some way. There's just something not quite right about this. And then throughout the movie, I'm like, something feels off here. Why does this feel off? And it gets so tense, and then you think like a building's going to blow up and all this stuff is going on, and Mel Gibson's family is going to get murdered. And then they all start laughing, and it's all a prank on the new guy. It's a fucking prank. They're playing.
They were the world, Tim.
Yeah. And where you're totally emotionally invested in the story, like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's a fucking joke. I was like, are you taking the piss? I was angry for the entire night. I was so mad. I was invested in this. So I was like, okay, so the character's an asshole at the beginning, and by the end, he's an even bigger asshole. So there's no character development. He's just a dick. And that's basically, is that it was a joke. And I was like, who wrote this? A fucking 5-year-old? And it was such a slap in the face to the audience, where you're like invested in this, and everyone's probably thinking, oh, it's such a super clever twist. Yeah, no, it's not at all. And
I want to say like bravo to having the balls to do it, but I can only imagine being that invested. I'd probably have broke my TV. That's probably what I would have done.
And then there's like another twist which I won't go into after that as well. Okay. And then you're like, no.
Then Al Leong busts in and hooks him up to jumper cables and fries him. Because that's awesome. The only ending I want to hear from that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a movie called Evil Laugh where there's a killer, and then there's a horror movie nerd, and the horror movie nerd pretends to be dead. He's like, I'm just spoiling the whole movie. He pretends to be dead. Okay. Yeah. So, and then the killer's coming out to the final girl, and he comes up and kills the killer. And he's like, yes, he goes, it worked. He goes, I always thought, why don't people in horror movies pretend like they're dead and hide with the dead bodies? And the killer lost track of how many people he killed, so he didn't even realize. So he wins at the end. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Then it flashes forward to the final girl and the horror movie nerd, and she's like in the shower or something, and he comes to scare her, and he tries to prank her and scare her, and then she kills him. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? So while you were talking, I was thinking, what if the new guy who they're pranking goes crazy and kills all of them because he got pranked? I'm like, I guess that could have been an ending.
Well, okay, right. I'll just continue on. So it ends up that the new guy does know about it, and that he pretends to be dead at the end. So Mel Gibson feels guilty, but then they're like, no, it's actually a joke, and I'm actually still alive. And then Mel Gibson's like, oh, I'm gonna get you guys back for this, and then it ends, and then I slit my wrists and start crying. And I was like, fuck this movie. Mel's better than this director.
I agree.
He is. It's like everyone's still punishing him for the stuff he said like a few years ago, and I was like, I think he's severe bipolar.
I can separate the artist from the art.
Yeah. If you didn't do that, then you wouldn't watch anything.
I would never be able to watch Lethal Weapon again, and I'll be damned if I'm not gonna. It's almost Christmas time. I'm gonna watch Lethal Weapon, man.
I mean, I love watching Mel Gibson in films. I'm sorry, he's a good actor.
He's got some great ones. You can't. Yeah. You don't have to support what he says. You don't have to agree with anything he says, but I'm still gonna watch the movies. Yeah. And I'm sorry, him and Fat Man was phenomenal as far as I care. That gritty, gruff Santa Claus that's pissed off at everyone. I liked it. It was good. I loved it.
I interviewed his son last week, Louis Gibson.
Oh, cool.
And Joe Deitch for their film Manifest West.
I saw you share that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty cool film. It's not an action movie, so I haven't reviewed it. It's more of a sort of a character drama, but it's a really good movie. And just interviewing him was really cool because at the end of the interview, I was ready to sort of wrap up. And move on, let them go, because I always feel like I'm being an inconvenience whenever I'm interviewing somebody. Just I'll just hurry up and get out your way so you can go on with being rich.
Yeah.
But
you got way more money than me.
Yeah. But at the end, and I was about to, oh well, thanks guys, and then Louis just goes, oh, it's just, what's your favorite action movie? And I was like, oh, and then we just started talking about action movies for like a couple of minutes, whatever, and I was just like, you know what, you're awesome. So he's really, really cool.
That is awesome.
So, I love it when people are like that in interviews, because sometimes you're doing it and you got the moderator on the phone or whatever and saying, can you wrap it up please, whatever, and you're not having time to build up a rapport or anything talking to them. It's
See, that's what I don't want to get into, is those kind of like the press release ones. I like catching people when it's like they're convenient to come on and do. We did one not long ago, and it was more of an independent creator, but they ended up interviewing us by the end of the thing. Like, they're asking us, like, he's like, I have questions, can I ask them? Go ahead. And it was literally stuff like that. Like, if you had like a movie you could take to a deserted island, what is that movie? And it's like, fuck, I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't know how to answer this. I didn't know there was a test.
Well, I think well, for me it's Conan, but
everyone knows what J-Man's answer
is. But you know, Owen, what you were saying too about the on the line thing. Like, I think a lot of movies take like what I call Twilight Zone premises or episodes. They take a Twilight Zone premise and they think, oh, this is a cool premise. Let's make this 2 hours. And it's like, well, having the Mel Gibson thing be a prank, could have been a very fun, enjoyable anthology thing. Maybe do like an April Fool's Day Part 2 or something, right? And like, or have that entire movie be the first maybe 25 minutes, and then it takes a sinister turn where the prank now goes too far, or it becomes, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know what to do anymore. I think they think that we've got this idea and we're going to milk this, we're going to milk this sucker. Yeah. And now we got a 2-hour movie with Mel Gibson. It's like, yeah, but like, it's very disappointing. And I don't know if they know. I don't think anyone's aiming for anything anymore. They're just like, we've got Black Panther, just make something. He'll fight somebody. Oh, okay. We made the movie.
The bitch of it is, though, is it's kind of what we're asking them to do, though. We want people to take risks again. Like, even the movies we love as, growing up with action movies, they just went, what if a trash man decides to go and fight crime? And it's like, it doesn't sound like it should work. And to a lot of people, it doesn't. But to a certain group of people, it does. So it's like, I'm not going to admonish someone for trying that. That's why I'm saying I want to say bravo to someone putting that on film and putting it out there. But I get Owen where I'd be like, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah, the thing is it a badly made film? No, it's not like it's well acted. Mel gives one of his best performances in a well. I mean,
Mel agreed to do this too. So you have to look at it like he read the script and went, "This sounds interesting."
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, is it fun? Yeah. But for some reason, it just pissed me off because I was so invested and I wanted to see what was going to happen. And then it just made everything that had happened for like it's just around 90 minutes. So that's good. It's not
an hour 44. I just checked.
So, this opens up a unique door for me and J-Man. We can now go into this movie with a different mindset that we don't have to pay attention to the tension. Right. We can pay attention to maybe things that are happening in the movie that should have clued you in as it goes. So maybe there's a unique way to go about this,
Maybe if you watch it again, there's clues, because like even when I was watching it, I was like, something doesn't feel right here. I was like, I know there's something feeling on it. Yeah. So maybe I'll watch it again. I think actually it's actually very clever, but it's just because I'd been so invested and was involved in the tension, and then they were just like, fuck you, you just wasted an hour and a half watching this.
That's fully what they probably intended to, which means they succeeded in what they set out to do, was to piss you off at the end. It's kind of like watching the Terrifier movies. They're not out to like I agree. J-Man told me before I watched the first one, he's like, don't pay attention to the story. It'll drive you nuts. And the second the movie was over, I was like, that would have pissed me off. That it was supposed to be a loop. And it's not. Like, this doesn't make sense. The end of this movie is not the beginning of the movie. That's bullshit.
Part two just raises a bunch of more questions and does not answer them.
I have heard that it just don't watch it for the story at all. But
I'm just there for the gore.
Oh,
that's what I'm there for. It's like I want to see the gore.
I don't know if you really do. I really need you guys to watch this like a bit sooner than later, if possible, because
I will.
Right now, I'm the only person out of all of us, Sean, Steve.
Yeah, they won't.
Like, people are like, this is way too much, and like, there's a film critic that I really respect a lot, and I knew he wasn't gonna like it, and he was just like, this is like way too far. Like, this has gone way further than any movie should ever be allowed to go. And I'm like, I started laughing. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I was laughing through the first 5 minutes. I was like, this is great.
I've watched some pretty wild movies, though. I mean, for
like
this
Terrifier 1 with that.
Yeah, that was.
That's like nothing, right?
That's
like,
honestly, though, of not having anything to metric by, even I'm watching it going, okay.
So then because like the other part 2 way beats that.
Dude, I watched a movie called Body Melt the other day, which is Ozploitation horror.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got done watching this going, what the fuck did I just watch? And I've got my other 2 co-hosts going, look, we may not cover it on the show, but you guys need to watch it and then call me when you're done. That movie's messed up, and it's just makes no sense. Right. But it's like an experience. But the song, like, as soon as they did that, I was even like, I've seen Hostel 2, and I felt like Hostel 2 was more brutal than what they did in Terrifier.
I didn't see either Hostel movie.
Well, there's the Hostel 2 is they capture girls this time, and they hang the innocent acting one who's just this like,
and she's like, isn't she like a pendulum or something, or whipped or something?
She has a scythe. They hang her upside down over an empty like tub bath, like a big Roman Gothic thing. And this, I mean, it's great gratuitous nudity. This woman walks into it, disrobes, fully naked, lays underneath her, and then takes this scythe and slashes her to pieces and bathes in her blood.
Oh yeah.
So then I'm watching Terrifier going, okay, I get it, but is this the big thing everyone talks about with this movie? Because this doesn't shock me.
No, Terrifier 2 is way worse than that.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's way worse.
We're
Jimmy, seeing that for sure.
We can't wait.
Yeah. We just mentioned this, Jimmy, at the start. We're super looking forward to it. It's like Die Hard meets I don't know, like a Christmas.
Die Hard meets Home. Die Hard meets Home Alone.
Die Hard meets Home Alone. That's what it is. Yeah.
Like,
awesome.
I've already called it, Jimmy. It's going to be my second favorite movie of the year, period. It's Maverick and then Violent Night. I am so there for it. When the end of the trailer, he throws the grenade at the guy, stops, looks at the camera and goes, I have to watch this. And I was like, I'm in. I don't care. I am there. I'm going to the theater and watching this. I'm not waiting for streaming. I'm sitting my ass in the theater.
Oh no, that's a big screen one, because
100%.
Like Jimmy said, we haven't seen any Christmas themed action movies for a while, really. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's Fat Man as well.
Fat Man was close, but it's on the edge of an action movie. Like, there's action for sure, but it's not like Die Hard action.
But it's, to be honest, it's Walton Goggins' movie. He steals the show. You know, whenever he's holding the guy hostage on the desk, and the guy's and he's like, "Did you have a pen?" He's like, "Yeah." Move your hand up, and he's like directing him while he's holding the gun to the back of his head because he can't see.
I could watch Walter Goggin read the phone book or something, man. That is one of my. I need to rewatch Justified. I've already watched that series twice.
Yeah,
him and Timothy Oliphant. I just want those 2 guys all the time.
Boyd. I just knew him as Boyd. Like, I started with Justified. That's where I first saw him, and I bought all of those seasons.
I love it.
Boyd is just one of the when he becomes the Bible guy, like it's season 3.
Yes,
I was like,
finds God. Yes. Oh God, I love it.
So we mentioned this earlier too. The new Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday. Yes, I have. I really enjoyed it.
It's on my watch list. Yeah,
definitely worth checking out because it's funny. Like I was saying, great fight scenes. Scott Adkins is funny in it as well, and there's some actually genuinely like really funny moments in it, and we don't really get enough action comedies these days, so it's sort of nice to see that sort of return to it. And
see, I think that was one of the things I liked about, like, going back to Bullet Train. It had this nice blend of comedy into it that we're not getting in action movies a lot. That you need that levity sometimes, where it's just not this serious, gritty thing.
The Bourne movies caused that for a while, where everything was trying to rip off the Bourne movies, so everything had to be gritty and grey, looking dull.
I've seen all of them, and I don't really like any of them. Even
I can't tell you what one's what.
Like I get them mixed up. Yeah,
I don't. Other than the one that I think is it's not what's his face. Didn't it
Jeremy Renner?
I wanted to say that, but I also knew Jeremy Renner did the Mission Impossibles, which I love, and I was like, oh wait, which one is it?
What's the In Search of the Last Action Hero? The documentary, you guys have seen that, right?
Yeah. I actually watched that again the other day. That was good.
Yeah, it's on Tubi, I think, or whatever. I actually watched it because
Tubi's my streaming site. I love Tubi.
Great.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Tubi is the best streaming channel because it shows all the B and Z grade action movies we love. It's awesome. Yeah.
Period. I will go to Tubi before I go to any of my other streaming sites now.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, so I rewatched that one, and like they even talking where I think it's Scott Adkins who's great in that documentary, but he's talking and he's like, yeah, the Bourne movies, and it's like how it's like that was the first where you're like, yeah, like you're not doing any of this, like these fights suck. Like what happened here? And I remember in the theater thinking, wow, this was like not great.
They're sped up. They're like trying to hide the fact that they're not really doing it.
It's so frustrating because Jeff Amada did all the action scenes. He's amazing, like choreographer and everything, and he did all this great stuff. And then it must be so frustrating for him to put in all that work, and then the camera's like.
And I got so pissed off at that style of movies that was
and they did that with like other movies. I remember Taken 3 with the 9 cuts whenever he's jumping over the fence and stuff like that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Taken 1, Taken 2, I can watch. The other ones, I watched them once.
Yeah, Taken was good. I interviewed the director of Taken 2 weeks ago, Pierre Morel.
Oh, sweet!
And actually spoke to him like on video, and everybody was really, really cool.
That's awesome.
So that's good. And all kinds of interviews recently. So that's another reason why I haven't been doing the live streams, that I've been doing interviews so much.
He's been too busy with the famous people, Jay, man. He ain't got time for us anymore.
I'm going home. The party's over. I'm ending the stream. I can now end the stream.
Don't cross the stream.
Eye surgery.
At the Playboy Mansion. Did anybody see Dead for a Dollar, Walter Hill's new one?
No,
but it's a Western, Willem Dafoe and Christoph Waltz. So you think great cast.
I love Waltz.
Average movie though. It's really it was all right, but I kind of expected better.
I like Walter Hill stuff though, man.
As we were saying, I mean, he's done some great westerns like The Long Riders was great, and Last Man Standing, which I suppose is a western. It was one of my favorite Bruce Willis films.
Extreme Prejudice, which is basically
Extreme Prejudice. Yeah, all of his films are basically westerns. He said that they're all different kinds of westerns, even if they're set today. He just loves the western genre. So it's worth seeing. It's not bad. It's just not amazing. It's just not one of my favorites of his. But and now here's something which just proves that my opinion is worthless and I'm full of shit. Right. So does anybody have a movie which they like didn't like the first time they watched, and then like the second or third time you start to actually love the movie?
I have lots. Yeah. Blade Runner. I fell asleep. I watched Blade Runner. I thought this is the most boring movie of all time. It sucks. And literally my buddy Sean, not the Sean, a different Sean. He's like, that's my favorite movie of all time. I was like, but we love all the same movies. I'm like,
what's wrong with you?
I always assume I'm wrong. I always assume I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I missed something.
I'm the idiot.
I'm like, okay. Then I read the book and then I watched it again, and now it's one of my favorites. So yeah, Blade Runner is the big famous one for me. Where I fell asleep. I woke up like, this movie is boring. The cover's like, he's like this with a gun. I'm like, that doesn't happen in this movie. There's just talking. I'm like, there's nothing going on. And then, but I didn't get it. So.
Yeah, but see, then you watch it as an adult, and that's the thing. Like Blade Runner is not a movie for like when you're younger. I mean, I only really started to appreciate it over the past 10 years, and I love it. So the movie which I now love, Dune from last year. I watched it for the third time the other day. And I was like, I love this movie. I was like, we watched it on Blu-ray with the subtitles on so we could hear everything that was being said. And I was like, God, I love the music, which I didn't even like the music the first time I heard it and everything. And I was like, now I'm like, I can't wait to see part 2. And I've got the book, which I'm desperate to read. So,
I need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. My movie was Lock Up with Guy Pearce. The Escape from New York, Lockout.
Yeah.
The Escape from New York knockoff.
Yeah.
The first time I watched that movie, I'm like, I fucking hate this movie.
Me too.
This is
I'm still there.
Dude, I started watching it again. Like it got on Netflix for some reason, and I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to throw it on here in the background.
John Carpenter sued them and won.
He won.
No.
Not in American courts though. It was in French courts. They knew what they were doing. They knew that that's what it was. But it was like we're in space. But no, I watched it again and went, that wasn't as bad as I remember. And then I watched it again, and now I bought it, and it's one of my go-to movies now.
I've always liked it because I love Guy Pearce in it, because
that
he's basically
was
a Snake Plissken. It's smoking, and his name's Marion in it, which is a nice little nod to Cobra. So
it was nothing in that movie I shouldn't have loved the first time I watched it, but I didn't for some reason. So then when I watched it again now, and I'm talking like a long time since it had come out to when I rewatched it, and I'm like, this is like my new favorite movie now. Like I can watch this movie anytime it's on. And I probably have, since I bought the Blu-ray, I've probably watched it like 8 times. And I'm just like, I love this movie. It's so good. His dry delivery of one-liners throughout the entire movie is fantastic.
He was an old school action hero, which we just don't see anymore. And that was the thing. I was like, that's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it.
Why is he not him? Why is he not doing it anymore? And why did we not get more of Matthew McConaughey from Reign of Fire? Like, those are two actors of. He might as well have, but he did. Well, I meant that style. He did, but I'm saying, give me that style of Matthew McConaughey made a badass action star.
Yeah,
like.
I also secretly love Sahara. I thought Sahara was awesome, but nobody else did.
Sahara is fun, but it's that's that blend of a little bit of comedy too. Like that movie is really fun. I've got that on DVD. But we covered it again, and I'm watching it going, like, Christian Bale ended up being more of an action guy than Matthew McConaughey, and Matthew McConaughey was the badass in that movie.
Yeah,
it's like I wanted more of.
He was so cool.
The beard, the just the bomber vest, nothing else, and just. He's riding a tank with the cannon between his crotch. I'm like, this dude just commanded the entire movie. I want that Matthew McConaughey from now on. No, he gets like romance movies.
Right. I think was that the Reign of Fire? Was that the one where
with the dragons?
No. Something more specific. Where in the world that they're in now, they've lost track of media or something, and like they're telling fables, but it's actually Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
That was that movie. I thought that was so brilliant because
I loved that.
It's like that is what would happen if we actually lost all of our history and didn't know. We would be telling Star Wars.
It would
as
turn into
mythology.
It would be spoken word. We would be, doing Delta Force as spoken word. We would be doing. Like we would be kings among men, guys. You realize that what we do right now, we could travel the wasteland telling tales of years gone by, and we can fix all the movies, J-Man. Think about
all
it.
I
fix all of them.
I fix them anyways. I would lie to people all the time. Like,
they're not going to know.
You're not going to know.
I love that idiot on your YouTube the other day, by the way. Like, dickhead commented on your poster and was like, oh, well, how would you write it about Black Panther? And then you wrote this absolutely fucking brilliant synopsis of like what the story would be. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, what's that? Can't hear you there.
Something in my ear.
Don't ask me to rewrite the movie for you, because I rewrite everything I see. Even if I like the movie, like Psycho Gorman, I already thought of like several things. I'm like, okay, I know what I would have been doing here. Like, that's what I do all day. And I literally, this, I write stuff all day. So it's like, I can't believe And then I asked him, what was your sequel idea?
Just waiting for the old, oh, but you're a white male and I hate you.
I got that.
You're cisgender. Here comes the dickhead when they up the fucking gender. You have to bring it up every time.
I did get that. I quickly asked him to show me his Black Panther comic book collection, see if it's bigger than mine. And spoilers, I don't own any Black Panther comics. I have them all on digital. So he could have easily defeated me by showing me one comic, but I took the chance that he didn't have any, and I won.
Fair.
Yeah, just an idiot. So that's the thing. I mean, all these people just comment whatever, and whenever they're probably 12 years old. That's the thing.
12.
Most of these people they're usually like stupid kids, and that's the thing. they don't know anything. But whenever you call them out on it, then there's never a response because they've probably been told to go to bed or something.
If you don't know stuff, that's fine. But I don't understand why people I like a lot of movies that are considered bad movies. And I can tell you the bad things about them and why they don't make sense. Everyone makes fun of me. This is a thing, Charlie, you don't know. Everyone makes fun of me on other channels that I love Highlander too. And yeah, there could be only one. So why is there a part 2? Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I can admit that it's a bit weird and, okay, it's maybe not as good, but I happen to like it. But the problem is that these other people are so hyper focused on positivity only. It's like, it's 10 out of 10. Are you sure there's nothing wrong with this movie?
Yeah.
No.
It's a perfect movie. That's
perfect.
I have a theory to that, honestly, is if these people love the movies so much, why is it failing in the theaters?
Right.
So my guess is they didn't watch the movie. They watched someone else they follow that reviewed the movie and is just re-spewing what they've heard from someone that they respect, some YouTuber or some other thing, and they're just regurgitating what they've heard to be part of the trending topic.
What it is.
See, Gino's brought this up before, where you said there's people that you've worked with, whatever, and they'll say, oh well, this new Star Wars movie is great, whatever, and I was like, oh really, are you a Star Wars fan? No, I'm not going to go see it. But they like to like argue whatever just to.
They want to be in on the current thing that's talked about, and that's the thing. Like there's two ways that J-Man and I have talked about this, where the new movies now aren't made for us. The comic book movies, the Star Wars movies, it's all for they're trying to get a new generation involved, and they're trying to get it trending. That's all that matters. That's the money to them. That's free marketing now. Good, bad, indifferent. Like, we're going to piss off all of the white males, but that's free marketing for us. The more they talk about it, there's no bad press anymore.
Yeah, but
it's failing them, but there's some other way that they're doing this, they keep doing it. So they're making money somewhere else that we don't see. Like, my biggest question is, why am I walking into Walmart and seeing nothing but aisles of Black Panther toys? Right. I'm like, they're going to be sitting there next year. No, but I mean, like, I'm talking like this is the new rollout. Like, okay, movie's out. Here's all the Black. They're stacked. Like, they're not moving, one or two, but they're all got
Thor.
I can still go get all the Eternals,
me
Marvel
too.
Legends for $10 a piece.
Yeah, that's too much.
It is. Like, we made this joke at the last stream, was the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. There was a point where you could get those figures for like $1.
Right.
I bought a bunch and donated them for Christmas for like the Goodwill type things. Yeah. So I was like, $1 of action figure, the kid's not going to care. I did all of that. And, the funny thing is, I like to sit there and think like some kid opening it going, God damn it, I got another Green Lantern figure, and throwing it up against the wall. Someone's going to get an Eternal figure going, God damn it, I don't want Angelina Jolie.
Oh God, it's terrible. But they don't. Yeah, the like, if you look at our backgrounds, like, and I don't mean our backgrounds, I mean like our physical behind us. It's like you can see, it's like we invest our hard-earned money to buying these 4Ks or toys or whatever, and a lot of these people don't. They click. I'm okay with anyone arguing with me on opinions, and you can give whatever opinion you want. But I always find that I'm questioned whether it's like, I'm not questioning, like I said, I didn't like Namor in this new movie, and I gave like 15 reasons. And this guy's like, well, they changed things around. I'm like, okay, so I'm sorry. What is an acceptable reason in your mind for me to not like something? Or do you like every single thing you've ever seen? So it's like every character, every movie you think is 10 out of 10. There's never been anything you didn't like. And if you didn't like it, you're going to give me your reasons, and I'm allowed to say, no, I don't agree with those reasons. It's like, I can say anything. I can literally say, I don't like Shuri's haircut, so I hate this whole movie. Right. But it's the more opinions you give and the more you back them up, the more valid your opinion is. This is not I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to perform this surgery for you. It's like, no, it's like, I'm going to trump you on things. I am not an action movie expert. So if Eoin tells me that Sam Furstenberg was going to direct Back to the Future or something, and I'm like, I guess he was. I don't like. I
might have ninjas in it, and then it'd be even better.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, no, but I have to bend to the people that know, and you could still like something. right? Like I like a lot of movies, and I admit, yeah, these are not the greatest, and there's some problems with them, but I still like them. But I'm not blind to
their flaws.
The flaws, yeah. Like these people, and they want to argue about it. Like I'm not going to sit here and argue the merits of Superman Quest for Peace, even though I love it. I can explain why I love it, and if some people think it's cheesy, okay.
They put an agenda behind the movie instead of entertainment behind the movie.
Most things, particularly Marvel these days.
I want an escape. It's probably why I latched on to Bullet Train so much. Was I felt like I escaped everything. There was no like subtext to it. There was no message. It was just one of those things.
Same with Maverick. It was just an old-fashioned movie made to entertain, and that was it.
And you know what? The people that were naysaying that were the people that live off of being able to go, well, they didn't talk about this certain subject that's topical now. They didn't talk about this. You're just mad they didn't. You know, it's like
that's just the idiot Twitter mob. They have to bitch about every
and that's thing. What it is. It's what is trending, and that's what it's content for them. It's just YouTube channels, they want to hate shit. They need that content. If they don't have something to bitch about, they have no content.
Right.
And
even positivity goes nowhere.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And all it is like J-Man can give his opinion. All it does is fuel him. Like you can give legitimate, hard fact, everything to it. That's just fuel for them. That just makes them matter and want to talk about it more and just not give logic behind it, but just get their masses behind them. Get matter and get their people behind them where they hate you, even though you're right, even though you hit them with all of the logic that makes sense.
Right.
If you stop and think about it for a second.
And you know, this is just not to toot my own thing, but okay, so my Black Panther 2 review, which I use my space theory, I critically analyzed Black Panther 2, has 65 views. The video right after that I posted, it's called Namor Sucks.
Yeah.
It has 273.
See?
It's like triple, like right, and because it's like people want to see, and I'm assuming they think that I'm going to be angry in it. I did it in a reverse way where I was being funny about how bad it was, but that has more. So they have to be negative. They have to come on and say this sucks. And actually, I don't even like that either, because some of these YouTube, we're not going to mention anybody, but there's some channels that I've unsubbed because it's constant negativity just for the shit of
totally.
Like, Doctor Strange 2 is my breaking point. I think it's a great film. It's a lot of fun. I love all the characters in it. I think the battles are great. It's Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, all that. Now they're saying it's this, that, and all the catchphrases, that all the things. And I'm like, but keywords. It's not, guys. They're saying the keywords. I'm like, but it's not this, and I've got 14 points to counter all of your keyword points, and I can actually argue very well in favor of that movie. But I'm like, you guys are just wanting to be negative. Like, I don't want Black Panther 2 to suck. I want to walk in. I walked out of Black Panther 1. I bought the Funko Pops, the Legend toys. I got both of the medals, the small one, the big one. I have a stuffed toy of T'Challa that talks. I bought the digital comic collections that came out for cheap when he, to go back and reread the original stuff, because I didn't read Black Panther in the original days. So it's like, I want to add more to this background. I don't want to remove stuff. I don't want to look and be like, oh, I bought that Black Panther toy. Now he's dead. That's what I look at. I go
throw it in the trash.
Yeah, go bury it outside
now.
Yeah, he's dead. It's like, okay. And why? To have a strong woman, which they already had strong women anyway. There's 3 strong women
that's
in
every
the
single fucking movie of Marvel these days. So.
Right. They had 3 strong women. Somebody called it
Black
Panther, or the Housewives of Wakanda. The Real Housewives of Wakanda.
Black Panther 2, The Real Housewives of Wakanda. We all lost it. Like, that was the best
that was the fucking
title ever I've heard. I loved it. But going back to what you were saying, where you were like, your negative one had the most views. Like, how many views and comments were from haters? And it's like, you're doing nothing but boosting my signal, just coming on here wanting to bitch about me, bitch about the movie.
Go ahead.
Like, thanks. I'll take the views.
Even on the site, and if nobody knows, theactionelite.com, if I give something a negative review, that gets more comments and things. Particularly if it's a new film. And people, oh my god, you didn't get it. How can you know? Like the Grey Man, for example.
Oh, God.
Whenever we watched that, and then be like, you obviously don't know anything about action movies. Obviously not. Yeah, because I've never seen any at all.
What's an action movie?
Yeah,
obviously not. Yeah.
Maybe I know more than your stupid ass, sweetie.
Give me your website link. I'll check out your website. Let me do that.
That is the best. I always say that. I'm like, okay, post your review and let me see what you've done. Let me look at your channel. Oh, you have one subscriber, which is your mom. It's like, all right, well thanks. It's like, well, my mom says my opinion, man.
My mom says I'm cool.
My mom is not. My mom is always subscribed now. I'm like, are you subscribed? She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, are you crazy? It's like, your mom is supposed to subscribe to you. I was like, just subscribe. I said, tell all your dumb friends to subscribe. This is crazy. How do I not have my mom?
You're supposed to support your child.
I worry about my mom subscribing to my shit. I'm like, I don't need my mom hearing what
I know.
I
watch it. My mom will never watch. She doesn't even know how to work it. I subscribed for her. I'm like, here, I'll come over to your house and subscribe to myself.
If my mom ever watched that, well, she'd be like, "Owen, why are you swearing? Don't swear." I'm like, sorry, Mom.
That's exactly. I would get that.
Your mom and I are friends though, Owen, on Facebook.
Are you?
Yeah, she friended me. I'm pretty sure I'm friends with your dad and your mom.
I'm
just waiting for some mom jokes to start appearing here.
I was sitting here thinking for a second.
I'm friends with your mom, and you didn't tell me.
No, I've been friends for a long, long time. Actually, it's been a long time.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, we'll talk about this later.
That is so funny. Well, I don't post anything rude or whatever. So
that was always my fear. My mom, like I think I've done it on the Action Elite. I said something and my mom liked the damn comment, and I'm like,
oh, that's funny.
How can she see this? And it's just like, it's public.
Block.
No.
Can you believe there are human beings in the world that don't like Cobra?
It's impossible. They're liars.
I remember somebody even commented on the Actually page. I posted like something, if it was a poster or something from Cobra, and they were like, terrible movie, and I was like, have him killed.
They're done.
That's it. There's no reason for you to exist anymore.
Call the goon squad.
Release the hounds. Cobra is like, in fact, it's actually a Christmas action movie, so I'm gonna have to start a watch soon. So, actually, what I'm gonna do is for a live stream soon, and it has to be before Christmas. We'll do that in the next few weeks. Is ranking the Die Hard villains.
Oh,
because my number one is going to surprise people.
I know. I already know what it is, and it can't be that. I don't believe you.
We're covering Die Hard 2 for our Christmas episode.
I love Die Hard 2.
Yeah. We did Die Hard last year, so I'm like, we're going to do Die Hard 2 for this year. Yeah. So that's going to be our thing.
Yeah, I mean, for Christmas we'll be doing the 2022 of the year in action. So we'll just talk about most of the movies we talked about today. But yeah, we can go into more detail about them all and things, and talk about the best and worst. But yeah, I want to do ranking the Die Hard villains, because I did a piece about a month or so ago, and it was ranking the Dirty Harry villains. But I wrote it on the site. Because like the Dirty Harry villains are actually awesome, and I was just trying to do something different, because the problem is, like, because of COVID, there hasn't been anything going on, so I'm struggling to write things of movies that are coming out. I can just do reviews or things like that, but normally I'm like, okay, most anticipated movies coming out, and I'm like, I'm not anticipating anything at all. It's like Expendables and John Wick next year. That's pretty much it.
The problem is you'll do it, and then all of a sudden it's pushed back another year. You know, so
and that's like she did with Expendables and John Wick. Yeah,
exactly.
So, that's it. Yeah. All right. Well, shall we wrap it up there then, chaps?
Yeah, I've got to go anyways. Yeah.
Same here. Yeah. So we'll chat. Anyway, it was good to have you guys on, and maybe do one next week. I would like to try and get doing these regularly again.
Sure.
Wednesdays are good.
Yeah. So Wednesdays are back. So everyone cancel all your plans on Wednesdays from now on, because we're back.
Clear the schedule.
Yeah,
we're back.
What about next week if we do Judge Dredd versus Dredd?
That's all you gotta say.
Yeah,
that's all you gotta say, boys.
I know you got the tattoo, and I've been wanting to watch both of them again.
You had a Dredd tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I watched
Giver there.
That's awesome.
This is today's work is Ed 209.
Oh man,
got coloring on there.
Oh,
but I got my Dredd.
I have that figure too. I've got that figure.
Dredd.
Yeah.
Dredd. Let's talk about Dredd.
Yeah, we can for sure do that. I played the games and everything. I have the first 5 or 6 case volumes of the comic book. the black and whites, the ADD.
Oh yeah, I used to have them.
AD magazine. They still go out. I had a subscription to 2000 AD for a while, which is it's all through the app now. But I've got the physical case books. Yeah, those are cool.
These are the new ones, the Judge Dredd.
Oh, so that's new. Yeah, wow.
Okay, then. So next week, Dredd versus Judge Dredd. Then that should be fun. And the good thing is that I'm not that passionate either way about them, so I'm not going to get angry if anybody has a different opinion.
Well, I'm interested to talk to Charlie about it on Wednesday because I've got a lot of opinions on those movies, and I saw them both in the theater opening night.
Same here.
Even whatever, and I've seen Dredd with Carl Urban. I watched that 3.5 times in one day.
I didn't do it in one day, but in like a month span, I watched it a lot.
I saw it as part of TIFF when it came out, and I got to see it then. So and I'm looking forward to watching them again because I haven't watched either of them for a couple of years. And in fact, this is perfect because Dredd is 10 years old. It's 2012, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there we go. Wow. We'll do our 10-year anniversary special, and we'll do versus. So Stallone versus Urban. So that'll be next Wednesday.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah. So we'll do that next week then. So thank you guys for joining. So Charlie and J-Man, what do you got coming up in the next few days on your various channels?
So tomorrow we're doing 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Sean and I are talking about Thongor, who is a Conan ripoff. It was only an 8-issue comic run. It's based on a series of novels by Lynn Carter, who did a lot of other John Carter-ish, a lot of Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff, a lot of Robert E. Howard stuff, kind of homages and ripoffs, pretty much, right? But so we're talking about Thongor, and then on Friday, Charlie and I and Sean and Steve will be doing the space opera versus. We're doing Star Crash versus Space Raiders. That is also 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's every Friday.
I haven't seen any of these movies because otherwise I would have joined in. And I'm like, I haven't lived. I have not lived. So I'll have to get on that.
Surprisingly, there was a lot I had missed, and I just started watching them for the tournament. Thank God for Tubi for 90% of them. But next Tuesday we have a new action side of the podcast come out, and it is going to be Universal Soldier. Van Damme.
Awesome. You're discharged, Sarge. I want to do Universal Soldier 1 for a while, where we just talk about like all the movies. So we'll do that at some point. We won't do it soon, no, if you were doing it. So we won't like talking about the same stuff.
I got the 4K, and if you guys want, our RoboCop episode came out last week, and horror. If you like horror, we did The Hills Have Eyes, which
I liked that a lot.
I had swore off ever watching that movie after I watched it originally, and then Nate wanted to cover it, and I'm like, fuck, okay.
The remake or the original?
The remake.
I liked the remake.
I prefer the remake to the original by far.
Me too. I own both 1 and 2s, Wes, and the 2 new ones. And I like the 2 new ones better than the 2 old ones.
They are. I just was always disturbed by the remake, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch a movie that I don't enjoy, like for enjoyment factor.
They're rough.
Yeah, it is.
So it was going back to it's interesting. So if you guys want, check out the podcast. Give me back my action and horror movies.
Links are in the chat.
Links are everywhere. We have our groups, so you can find us there. But yeah, action side, RoboCop just came out, and then Universal Soldier. So reanimated bodies back in for everything. We're digging it. It's fun.
Hell yeah! And join us next week for Judge Dredd. Remember, subscribe to everybody, and click the little notification button, and then you'll know whenever we do something new, because I want to get back into this regularly now that my day job is quieting down again, and I've got both eyes back. So we're good to go. And if you are watching, remember, you are the Action Elite.